Yes, Jack. Yeah. Come on, get up. So here today is the day 2 of a 30-hour exercise where we're hosting teams from across the UK. Many of our scenarios will be based on having personnel that have been trapped in buildings, large buildings, that have been collapsed either through an explosion, or if we put that scenario that people might be familiar with recently as earthquakes and natural disasters. We will have live casualties entrenched in the bottom of our collapsed buildings, and their roles the teams will try to identify where they are using our canines to actually do searches, and then the teams will come together to try and break their way through the rubble in the most safest manner and bring those casualties out. So there are not many areas within the whole of the country that can put together this amount of realistic scenario training, and it's absolutely vital that people have the experiences and the exposure of what they would expect to see if they turn up to a real event. Now fortunately these events don't happen all that often, so we actually rely on having realistic training scenarios to ensure that they can test their skills, make sure they've got all the right techniques, and they can hone them to ensure that when the people need us in such a tragic event, that we're able to turn up and do everything we possibly can. Yeah, we're really excited with the prospect now that LCC have been able to purchase a site that really future-proofs our training and exercise programme for this particular specialist area. Our plans will be including taking lots of learning from events that we've already attended, either within our own country and also from abroad, and then what we will do is we'll look at how we can best replicate some of those events to ensure that future teams can learn from events, and we can bring them in and we can do the training and exercising on what they would be realistically being able to be exposed to. The rubble pile that is behind me, I think that is a really bit of a focal point for us, because actually when you start getting in amongst the rubble and going through the tunnels, it is almost endless, and the amount of areas where we can put people, it does really test our teams to the limit. Knowing that the recent spotlight that we've had and the tragic circumstances in Turkey, the fact that many of the people that went out to Turkey have trained on this site and that's where they've gained those skills, so I think it's really proud that Lincolnshire is being able to host such an event that's been able to have such wide-reaching benefits. Good girl.